Gary, where do you think, I mean, there's 10,000 baby boomers that hit retirement age every single day. For smart people like me and you, and yes, I'm grouping myself with you at this point. We consider that a demographic tidal wave, right?
Right.
Do you think the annuity industry is doing a good job addressing that? Because I don't personally. I feel sometimes like I'm screaming into a hurricane,
Right.
talking about contractual guarantees. What's your feeling on how? Because let's stop for a second and just explain that lifetime income, the transfer risk of lifetime income, is a monopoly that only annuities can provide.
Right.
Tell me your opinion without making anyone mad about how this message is not being conveyed to people that need these transfer of risk products.
Well, that's a loaded question with lots of
Yes,
different
that's why
answers.
you're here, Gary. This isn't easy, man. Come on.
Well, at a very high level, it has to do with behavioral finance, I would say. So,
Okay, go further. Go further. I want to hear it.
Well, there's the technical answer, right?
Right.
But there's human nature. And, when you talk about any type of guarantee or your viewpoint of how you view your own money, either today or in the future, or your savings behavior, or whether or not you can even cognitively think about what life is going to be like 10, 20 years from now.
Right.
I think many people just have a difficult time having that view. Most of us live in the moment. Are we going to eat the chocolate cake or do we go to the fruit cup?
Well, in an raging bull market, that's the biggest chocolate cake I've ever seen, Gary. I mean,
right.
It's hard to take money off the table, fear of missing out, FOMO, whatever you want to call it, and then lock it into a contractually guaranteed product. Because I think one of the things, if I was annuities are annuity god, whatever. Well, I kind of am the annuity god. Well, never mind. If I was in charge of the annuity industry, I would talk about, the guarantees, the transfer of risk, the pensions that no one has
right
anymore because we're living a pensionless world. I think less than 10% of private companies even offer a pension. So, and Gary Baker, the annuity data maker is what I'm going to call him. He provides the contractual guarantees and that those numbers so that people can make those decisions. So, what else about kind of the future of the industry? Like where do you think it's headed? I know right now annuities are a niche industry, which is fine. But if you look at the demographics, it really shouldn't be a niche industry.
Right.
Where do you think the future is headed, especially with an aging population?
Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, people have to rely on an advisor or financial professional or somebody like yourself to kind of guide them through that conversation. Look, an annuity is a complex instrument, or it can be, and it needs to be configured to the need of a particular situation or for the individual.
Correct.
I think in the past, in some cases, it got sold as a Swiss Army knife. It's going to do everything for you. But the reality is, based upon what your value is and the fact that you configure these contracts specific to the guarantees is one thing.
Right.
But, the annuity contract has been built to either provide insurance, basically 4 basic types of insurance. There's a tax deferral, if you want to call that protecting from Uncle Sam insurance, right? There's the death benefit that we talked about. There's a income benefit, which, it's a little bit different than income annuity, because an income annuity, which is the pure essence of annuitizing your contract, but if you want your cake and eat it too, having access to your liquidity to your account while also having a guaranteed income, then you have these income benefits. That's another form of insurance.
And those are called income riders. I've written a book on that. If you want to get the book, go to my site and get it. But that's what Gary's talking about. Income benefits are income riders attached to policies that offer a lifetime income stream starting at a future date of your choice.
Right. Yep. And then finally, some contracts have what I'll call growth insurance. So if you actually want to invest money into the into the shell of the insurance contract, there's some floor protections that make sure, if the market goes south, your exposure is limited, to those losses. So
And what he's
because,
talking about there is indexed annuities and what I call buffer annuities, or I've named them copay annuities, but those are a little bit, those are products that allow some upside lock-ins with some limitations on that upside. But yeah, there's a lot of new products that are coming out. A lot of them are complex. I always tell people, if you can't explain it to a 9-year-old, don't buy it. No offense to 9-year-olds,
right.
but Gary, do you?
Well, I guess what I want to do is I set the stage for that
Oh my
because
gosh, I don't want to get in front of the stage. Go.
that's okay. But the reason I mentioned those 4 types of insurance and about where the annuities are going in the future, I think in the past, you could argue that some people bought all 4 of those combined in one particular contract, and you could say, well, that's not necessary. And I think where the future of it's going is that the need to really figure out what you want. What do you want to protect? This is insurance, so what is it that you're looking specifically to protect, and then frame the purchase of that annuity or the components that you want to fit your overall plan and what your overall objective is, if you will. And when you talk about contractual guarantees as a basis for that, that's a very simple proposition. It's easier for you to get your head around. But if you have more complex estate issues or
Sure.
or income plan that may be a little bit more involved, then you may want to take some of these other elements and plug it in. And I think it really it's not only the education to the consumer, but it's education to advisors and financial professionals. So, I think
That's a good statement. That's a really good statement, because there's a lot of advisors out there that they don't even know what a QLAC is.
No, exactly. And I think if you really look at, even for certified financial planners, if you look at their accreditation and all the studying they have to do, hours and hours,
Sure.
weeks, months, years, and volumes of pages that they have to review, hundreds of thousands of text, and as far as and even the books and the tests they have to take, annuities are on page 327.
Hey, Stan the Annuity Man here. Did you like that little taste of my podcast, Fun with Annuities? Hey, if you want to see the full version, click the link and watch the whole darn thing. Remember, Fun with Annuities. Live in the reality, not the dream.